Hello and welcome to a smaller entry in the History of series, where we have one of Rassilon's oldest enemies and obstacles to his vision with the Web of Time. This is, of course, the Divergents, the focus of several 8th Doctor adventures from Big Finish. So, what's their story, however short it may be? Let's find out. The creatures which became to be known as the Divergents dated back to the birth of the universe. When Rassilon first travelled to the end of the universe, he found that they had devoured and eliminated all life within 10,000 millennia of his own time, and were capable of casting their own web of time able to encircle his. He did not know of the specifics of whether they were a species or a genus, but witnessed and feared their primal and elemental strength and ability to restructure all matter. Rassilon released biogenic molecules to make the dominant life forms of 69,000 planets resemble Gallifreyans, and intended to allow all other life, including every Divergent, to die. The Divergents realized that Rassilon was changing the future and tried to stop him, but he trapped them at the end of an aborted timeline and sealed them within a pocket universe, which he put into a Mobius loop, creating a constant cycle of death and rebirth. Rassilon siphoned power off from the Divergent universe to his foundry until he was challenged by the Committee of Three and stopped it, triggering the automatic firestorm to stop the Divergents escaping and also killing the Committee. The Divergents were desperate for release and got a glimpse of the universe when Dr. Stone and Reverend Matthew Townsend briefly opened a tear in time and space in 1951, but Townsend detonated a bomb and prevented them from escaping. They later empowered Goldilocks and the other animatronics at Winkle's Wonderland to damage or destroy the Foundry's reality lock in a bid for freedom. This plan failed thanks to Walton Winkle being revived. The Divergent universe was due to reopen at the end of the universe, so Rassilon made plans to infect the 8th Doctor with anti-time and have him kill the Divergents with the dagger forged from the Doctor's TARDIS. Zagreus, the entity created when the Doctor was infected with anti-time, refused to be Rassilon's puppet, and instead sent him through the door opened to the Divergents. He remained in the universe for more than 84 cycles. The Doctor was exiled to the Divergent universe by Romana II, and intended on making peace with the Divergents if possible. By the time that he had arrived in the Divergent universe, they had set themselves up as the dominant species, and had set to work trying to break the cycle of death and rebirth. This included setting up a base of operations on the planet of Caedroia, and constructing the crucible world of Bortrazoi to conduct their experiments. Eventually, the cycle somehow caused the Divergents to wither and die, but they were then absorbed by a creature at the peak of evolution known as Dakar Keep, who subsequently absorbed all of their power and assumed their authority in the Divergent universe. And that is the story of the Divergents. One I'm sure would have been longer if Doctor Who hadn't returned to our screens. Would it have been any better? That's impossible to say, but they may have had more of an impact on the Doctor and, of course, Rassilon. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you found this smaller video even mildly interesting, then consider leaving a like and subscribing down below, as it really helps out the channel. But, as always, thanks for watching.